Hello everyone! Today we are going to have an enormously interesting interview with the multilingual blogger, photographer, traveler, independent writer, web designer, international auditor, inventory expert, and I would say fighter for human rights, fighter for democracy, fighter for freedom, Bernard Grua. So Bernard lives in Nantes, France, but he travels all over the world. So today we'll talk about his trips, also his business trips, photography, and even politics, as Bernard was a participant of the Revolution of Dignity in Ukraine in 2014 and led the international movement in France against the delivery of Mistral invasion ships to the Kremlin, Russia. Before that, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and write about how many countries you visited and how many languages you know. Hello, Bernard. Long time no see. How are you doing? How is your life?
Mark. Oh, hello, Mark. Yeah, long time we did not see, at least physically. But you are part of my friends. I follow your activity. I see all the pictures, your videos. So you are very frequently with me, even if you don't know it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for such kind words. So as far as it's an educational channel, the first question to you is about how you managed to become so fluent in English and how many languages do you know?
Well, I don't consider myself as a fluent guy in English. I use it for traveling, for writing, for talking with people, but that's it. Actually, it was I learned it at school, but it did not work like for many people. I learned it through a business case. We will talk maybe about it in the US for 2 months. And I learned it through my work in France or in the US or in UK.
So maybe business English, business English or like
well, a couple of years ago it was mostly financial English because I was a financial auditor. So I knew how to write financial reports, to audit accounts in English, but then I had to get the normal English to talk to normal people like you, not to crazy people.
I see.
And about other languages, I learned German at school, and well, it was quite better than English. And I also had student exchanges with Germany, and I forgot it a bit, and I use it again when I was doing my work in Germany. But I don't write in German. I'm too lazy for that. I write in English, and it's a bit complicated with declinations, etc. But I like very much German language. I learn Spanish, but very broken Spanish. But it's okay. While working in Spain, and I decided that I will not use, like I did in Germany, I will not use English, sorry, in Spain, like I didn't want to use German English in Germany. So Spanish is really a pleasant language, especially for French people, and I like it. And I know a couple of words for traveling in Russia or traveling in Central Asia, the basic words.
What about Ukraine? Ukrainian words?
Well, Ukrainian, for me, is like Italian with Spanish. When I try to learn Ukrainian, it's confused with Russian because I know more words in Russian. And when I try to speak Italian, my mental shift to Spanish. I would say, I don't know if you already made this, but just imagine languages, they are in your head. like, different levels. And when you go somewhere, it goes a bit up or a bit down. But at this time, I would say at the top, I have French, then English, then, well, it depends, German, Spanish, or etc. But when I'm in Ukraine, Russian is just eating my few Ukrainian words. But I try, because I know you like it. I try to use some Ukrainian words.
You need to go to Western Ukraine to speak Ukrainian, to be in this environment, yes? Because like if you are in Kiev, so you are surrounded by Russian speakers in most cases.
Well, it was before the war in Donbass, but when I was in Lviv, for example, and I used Russian words, people understand perfectly and were very friendly. And now I don't know the situation, but I always tried to put some Ukrainian words when I was talking in Kiev or in Western Ukraine, and just very simple, hello, how are you, thank you, etc. And they always notice and say thank you. But I mean, the way, except with people like you, Derek, you and your friends who want to teach me, it was no problem. I was using Russian everywhere in Ukraine.
So, and could you share with us some tips on how to master a language, a foreign language?
Well, you are the teacher, so you know better than me. I would say you first.
And how did you manage to know to master so many foreign languages? What is the secret? What is your secret?
I would say, as far as I'm concerned, it depends on all the people. First, you need it. So if you need, you will talk. And then you need to like it, because it's so easy to shift to English. Sometimes you have to resist and go deeper with the language of the country where you are. Because otherwise, if you just use English, it's too easy and you will never learn another language. And I would say the third tip is just watch movies. First, you read the subtitles to understand what's going on, and you watch a movie again and again and again without subtitles, and that's a way to learn. And my experience is more learning a vocal language than trying to learn how to write it.
Vocal, you mean spoken language, yes?
Yes, spoken language. Actually, at school you focus too much, I think, normal schools, you focus too much on writing, but what you need is to understand people, and then you learn the words they use, and you use the same words, and you get better like this. I never write in German. I read very few in German. I never write in Spanish. I never write in Russian. I try to read, of course, some, because it helps. But it's just a vocal language for me.
Just only like the communicative approach, you mean? Just communication.
Yeah,
interaction with people. Okay. So, Bernard, what is your educational background? From your portfolio on LinkedIn, I got to know that you studied in Harvard. Was it the summer school, or was it like a scholarship? What was the program about?
Well, my education initially, at least till the baccalaureate, as we call it, at the end of the high school, was mostly scientific, mathematics, biology, physics. I was very bad in mathematics, so I worked a lot for nothing, but it was where you have to study because it was a trendy channel. Then I studied politics in Paris, in what we call Institut d'études politiques, or Sciences Po. It's different from other countries where you have universities in a lot of countries, but in France we have also what we call grandes écoles. I don't know how to translate that. So Sciences Po is a grande école to prepare for diplomatic jobs or political. I mean, almost all presidents and ministers have been in Sciences Po, but I specialized more in finance. And there was also a big dimension of history, and I liked history very much. And that's it. And after my military service, I did like a Navy officer. I thought I had my contract signed in an audit firm. I said, now it's time to learn English, but I didn't want to attend English classes. Maybe with you it would have been different. So I took a summer school in Harvard, a business class in Harvard, just between my military service and my work. It was 2 months. So I had to work twice. I had to work on the business cases, and I had to work on English. So nights were very short, but it was big fun. And it was not a scholarship. I made a loan. I loaned money to the bank. I paid the fee of Harvard with that for 2 months. And then that's the way. And then after, I always try to be assigned on American or English assignments to practice my English and to go deeper. And that's it. So my main education, sorry, Mark, my main education is not Harvard, not at all. It's just the last I attended. I also attended Russian classes in Russia, but it's another story. My main education.
Why am I asking? That is the point. My sister also studied in like for 2 months in Harvard. That was the summer school.
Wow.
Unfortunately, she died 4 years ago. Wow. But she chose two subjects: the Portuguese language and the history of Ukraine.
I see. Yes, these were credit courses, correct? It was part of the university. This
was for free for her.
Okay. Me, you know, it was not non-credit course. It was just business case program, and it was. I know a lot of students who go to Harvard summer school to study a couple of matters they need for exams. Me, it was just a specific class with different teachings.
It was just I was so surprised because they even like made different plays performances in Ukrainian in Harvard University, and it was a very developed school of the Ukrainian language and the history of Ukraine. Yes, so there are so many different subjects in Harvard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you are fond of photography a lot, and your photos are just magnificent. So why did you choose photography as your hobby?
I did not choose. I'm sorry, Markian. Actually, my main hobbies are history and sailing. But one of the biggest trip I did, or longest trip I did, was in 2006. I crossed the entire Russia with Baikal-Amur Magistral until Irkutsk, went back to Taichet. Trans-Siberian line until Irkutsk and back to Taichet. Then I took the BAM line, Baikal-Amur Magistral, until Komsomolsk na Amure, with different stops, then took the Raketa till Khabarovsk, and again the train until Vladivostok. I had a small camera, took pictures, but they were very bad, and I was very disappointed because I thought it was not because of me, it was just the camera was bad. And then I said, I've been to places, very remote places. I will never go back there. So now I have to make photos, and I purchased a good camera, and it was not enough. I had to work to make good photos. It was not only a problem of equipment. And then what I want to tell you, to be short, first the camera was used for travel, you understand? But then my travels now Now it's different. I travel from my camera. It's
I see.
I don't know if it makes sense, but when I go somewhere, it's because I have goals to take this kind of picture, and I prepare my trips when I can decide the trips I do.
Report. You prepare
Sorry?
some report, photo reports. You prepare some photo reports. So you need to bring into somebody.
No,
Yes?
no. Just when I want to go somewhere, I want to make sure I will meet with interesting people and with scenic places, nice atmosphere, and then I decide to go there. Of course, when I travel in different parts of Europe or the US, it's another story. I go where my clients want me to go. But I try to adapt my schedule for weekends, for example, just I can't go back home, it's too far. So I just try to spend weekends in places where I know I can make good photos. Then this is really my hobby at this time. And it helps me to travel because I know that apart from doing my work, I will have a lot of fun making photos.
So what and whom do you like to take pictures of the most?
It's very strange because your friend Pavlo Kotsik and your friend Olesia Fediv, they told me you are a specialist of blue hour. I didn't know it. Actually, it's just because I was traveling, I was doing my job, waking up early, going to my clients to do inventories, to perform inventories. Then I ran to the other place by plane or by train, just came to the hotel, dropped my bag. And there was a time, it was the beginning of the night. So I started to make photos at this time. And usually I skipped the dinner just to enjoy this. And I would say that I don't know if these are my favorite pictures, but they are the favorite pictures of mine for other people because it shows cities on different way. But to come back to your, I'm a bit lost in your question. What was your question again?
What and whom do you like to take pictures of the most? The nature, people, or portraits, or photo sessions? Do you like to take photo sessions, or what's your favorite format?
I will answer. When I can, I travel for the beauty of the world, the beauty of the people. And so my favorite topic is beauty. Can be different things, okay? But first, like everybody, I started with buildings, with landscapes, etc. But I wanted to bring life. So I was in need of bringing people in my photos. So I would say that when I make portraits, I always take care of the environment. All my photos, they need to tell a story, So I will not make a portrait of Mark in front of a wall, but in front of a shelf with English dictionary. It makes sense because we understand he is an English teacher. So to summarize, what I like the most is beauty and tell a story. But so it's difficult to say I prefer this or this. But I have some examples, and maybe I can show you the pictures I like the most and explain why. Okay? So let me...
Yeah, include these pictures. For example, in the link below, any pictures you want, and people can just look at these pictures and can just look, click the link. Yeah.
Okay, I just show here. No, I don't know. I don't know if you can see them. These pictures. No, it's difficult, huh? But at this time, you see two photos. This one in Maidan and this one in Saint-Nazaire. They are important for me because this is with Olesia, but I have other pictures. The first of Maidan is a portrait of in Maidan. It tells the story of the young people in Maidan. That's what I wanted to show. When I went to Maidan, I wanted to make portraits of people to show they were normal people, etc. And the other one is just an incredible picture, because we did it like this, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it became viral because
Yes,
it
I can see that. Uh-huh.
it
Yes,
was at
yes.
the time of the fight against Mistral, and everything was in this story, a small lady, a big warship, a bloody boat, and we were with, maybe we'll talk about it after, we were with Dimitri Albi looking the engagement, thousands. Last time I saw it, this picture has been seen by 50,000 people like this, 50,000. So that means that what we wanted to explain, everything was in this picture. And then I noticed it was used for newspapers, like in Romania, in Baltic countries. So
Wow, cool.
I think what you need is to express an emotion and tell something with your picture. It could be portrait, or it could be people doing something together, etc. That's what I like.
I see. Very simple. So, how many countries did you visit? Did you count all these countries you visited?
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it's very important, but
it's not so important for you. Okay.
And what do you mean? I visited, for example, I'm very often in Spain, and and I've spent months in the US or a long time in Russia, and some other countries I've been a couple of days. So I don't think, I'm not an Instagrammer, an influencer saying I've been there. No, it's not my, no, it's not for that I do it.
I see. So what was the most beautiful country or place you have ever visited? I understand that there are many places, beautiful places in the world, but still, could you be like honest and say like the most beautiful place you've ever been to?
If I don't answer, I will be dishonest. Let's try.
No.
How could I say that? I think something very, I do believe in something very important. You travel to learn, not to compare. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So if you compare, you will always say, oh, this country is crap because in my country it is this. We have the French people, for example, when they go somewhere, a very small village, and they see a castle, a small chateau, they say it's not Versailles, even if Versailles Castle in France. You understand Versailles? This big castle. Yeah. But I'm sure where they live, there is nothing like that. So don't make comparison, because if you compare, you will find the negative side. Just try to learn and try to identify what is positive in a country and get inspiration from it. For example, if you go to Russia, people are very hospitable. If you go to Ukraine, people are very hospitable, much more than in France.
Even though.
But, yeah, really. You can come to a house and say, hello, and the person will say, oh, I'm sorry, we have no place. You will sleep in the kitchen. Can happen in Russia or in Ukraine. But you arrive in France, it's a disaster. You did not say months before you will come, etc., and you don't plan an appointment, and people will probably suggest you go to this hotel, etc. Then, so these are positive points of these two countries. Now, if you go to Russia, you never talk politics with Russian people. But if you go to Ukraine, you always talk politics. It makes a lot of fun. It's very interesting. So,
if you go to Russia, you talk about politics because of the fact that they are afraid to say something wrong.
I had another answer from educated people. They say, we never talk politics because it's not our job. We are specialists, but we will not argue like this. That's a fact. If I want to keep my friends in Russia, and we don't talk politics, and if I want to have fun with my Ukrainian friends, we talk politics. That's a difference. If you go to Tunisia, you can talk about religion with people. But if you go to Pakistan, if you talk religion, you are a blasphemer and you can be killed. But there are good things in these different countries. You understand?
Yes. You have to know exactly to explore the mentality of people. Yes, not to get into trouble.
Well, just focus on what connects people, and you avoid the problems. You understand? Don't try, to argue with people or to convert them to I don't know what. You understand? But I tried. I will answer you. My favorite country, I can tell you the most exotic country I've been in. Tell me, based on what you know from me, what would be the most exotic country? What do you think?
For you, exotic country. Maybe again, the eastern part of Russia.
Yeah, right. Siberia.
Right?
And winter. Yes, Siberia and winter. My God.
Do you know why? How I identified that? Because of your smile. You smiled. It was you were so happy being there. And while looking at your photos, I noticed this one, that you were really happy when you were in the eastern part of Russia, in Irkutsk, yes, in the Siberia, right?
I have very good friends in Irkutsk and very, very nice people. But the most impressive is Yakutia in winter, with -50. It's another world. When I arrived in the night at 5 in the morning in Yakutsk in winter, I was in my dream. It's just spectacular. It's something fantastic. Yeah.
Wow. So what's the most dangerous country you visited?
When you travel, you prepare your trip. You try to get local connections and to make friends. Today it's possible thanks to social media. I will not say I've been in dangerous countries. I would say I've been in situations which could have been very dangerous, but I was with friends, trustable people. So I was never in danger, I think.
Those events in Maidan, maybe like when you had to go, yes, because it was like a horror, horror started like in Maidan and in February. So I heard the story that you had to be evacuated, yes, or even like to leave the country, or
no. I explain. I was on Maidan in December. It was extremely safe. You remember all these people. There was a very big security in Maidan, and in Maidan, no alcohol, no drug were authorized. Everybody was very civilized. Everybody was smiling, etc. It happened. I was in Kiev in February, and in 18th February. I went with a demonstration to the Rada, and there were fights, of course. But at this time, you don't understand what is going on because there is like a strong crowd emotion, and you don't think, just at the end, I was trapped with Bearcoot charging, the crowd. And I had people falling down around me, and I had people, they were beaten. But I put myself against the wall, so I was sure there was nothing behind me, and I just watched the Bearcoot like this, and it it was okay. But I also got a grenade, you know, in institute. They were dropped from the roof, and I lost my left ear because of the deflagration. That's
Really?
it. But I was not and my big regret is that I was not on my line in the night of between the 18th and the 19th. I was on Kresiatik, but I was anxious to be trapped, you know, and had to be in Leipzig the day after on the 19th. So all my Ukrainian friends told me, don't get out, because I think it was Avarov, said we will crush these people, we will destroy them. The point is, I was just scared I could be trapped, not going back to the apartment to collect my my equipment to work. That's why I was not on Maidan during this incredible night. C'est la vie. At least I've been part of Maidan. And then it was strange to leave Kiev on the 19th morning, you know, but yeah, it was okay. It was okay. After, I should admit that it took me a couple of weeks or months to get outside the kind of post-traumatic trauma, because I've seen the house of syndicates, you know, this big building burning, and I knew there were people. I could saw it from the balcony, and I knew there were people in, and people were dying, and so it's a big trauma. Yes, you heard, huh? You heard about this building.
Yes, yes, I know about it.
That's it gave me nightmares. Yeah, but the danger was not for me, but for these poor people.
So you were in such countries as Pakistan and Afghanistan, and as we talked about the eastern part of Russia, in the Siberia, yes. And what is interesting about these countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan?
Oh, once again, was not a choice for Afghanistan, for example. I was in Pamir, Tajik Pamir, in a valley called Wahan. And in the middle of the valley, you have the Panj River, which is the Amud area. On the opposite side is Afghanistan. And we were going along this big river, and I saw the landscape in Afghanistan. It was so beautiful. All the landscape was like a garden, and I wanted to go there. It just, all my trips, you know, it's not a decision. It's like I've been called somewhere, you know. You need to go, because you cannot resist. You know, if you don't go, you will miss something for your life. That's why I went to Afghanistan. It's just was not really my decision. It was like I had to go. And Pakistan is because I wanted to see the mountains, the huge, huge mountains of Pakistan. And I like very much the sky in Pamir or in Karakoram, because it's high and the sky is very clean, without dust, without humidity, and everything is so sharp, and there is such a saturation of color. It's just magical. That I went to the place where I went to this mountain. It happened, it was Pakistan, but my choice was not to go to Pakistan. My choice was to go to this place, to see these mountains and the people who live all the year long above 3,000 meters high.
Wow.
That's, so you may consider
K2 mountain. Do you know this mountain, like the highest?
I missed part of what you said.
I mean, like, have you ever been to the mountain of death? That there are so many people that died, that wanted to go to the peak of that mountain, and they died. K2 mountain. The mountain is called K2 in Pakistan.
I think the death mountain could be Nanga Parbat, Killer Mountain, or K2.
Maybe.
Nanga Parbat it's possible to go not very far from Nanga Parbat. Its place is called Ferimido, but I did not go there. I did not have time. And K2 is another part of Pakistan. It's in Himalaya, and it's a very long way. It was not in the area where I was. I was in the corner made with China and Afghanistan, because I wanted to meet the same people I've seen, same ethnicity that I met in Afghanistan. This the Wahi people, and they are on both sides of the borders, very high borders. But so that's why I went there, and it's also there you have the Karakoram highway, which is very famous. So I did not go to K2, which is, you're right, in Pakistan, the second summit in the world. And I saw Nanga Parbat, but from far away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and tell us, please, about mentality of people in the countries you visited. Are people more or less the same everywhere, or they are different? Like you said that in some countries they are hospital, in some countries they are not so hospital. So, but still, what about people? Are people in general kind or not kind? And what other qualities can you mention?
I would say just avoid the bad people, because you have bad people and good people everywhere. Have first a good friend in the country, and then rely on connection between people. And if you smell something fishy, you just run away. But it can happen everywhere. I think to answer, I know it's not politically correct, but I think people are very, very different according to the country where they live. I'm really thinking about that. And we have to adapt. We have to adapt. When I was in India, people thought I was Indian guy, a Parsi. When I'm in Tunisia, people consider I'm an Algerian guy, so kind of Arab guy. It's important. I don't show myself like a tourist, you know. By the way, I don't consider I'm a tourist. I'm a traveler, but I try. I don't look folkloric, of course, but I try to be like a fish in water, you know, to behave like people behave, and then everybody is kind. And my goal is to meet with people, to tell their story, to listen their story. My goal is not to make my own choice. And because I'm interested with them, usually connection is very good, except for some crazy people. But what I would say also is, you have some people saying I'm fed up with my country, or etc. And this country is so beautiful, etc., etc. We know this in France. We have some people saying this country is so marvelous, like Russia, for example, and they don't know Russia, but the most beautiful country. Or some French people even saying Pakistan is so beautiful, etc. No, there is beauty everywhere. But understand, when you come to a difficult situation, when you come to argument, then everybody will back to his fundamentals. It's very important. I don't know if I'm clear, you know, but understand from where you are, understand who you are, and don't be blind. Learn from other people, but just remember who you are, you know. Don't force your personality or your mentality, but understand there is difference. So try to find the difference, and try to find in what sense the difference is positive, and learn from this difference.
Yeah, to be flexible.
It's more than that. It's to be open to other people, learn from other people. And adaptable. Don't travel in a tourist bubble because you're in a group of same people. and you are just like a cancer in the place where you go, or just like monkeys, No, don't do like that. Travel with the people of the country. Use their bus, use their train, their horse if you want. But don't come with big jeeps with Mark Tours, or I don't know what, and with your music, etc. No, just be in the environment.
A real picture how this or that country is, or this and that place really is. Yes, you just need to be natural and to see some natural things, not artificially described by some tourist agencies. Yes.
Oh, I perfectly agree. It's very important because what is shown to tourists is like a stage most often. I remember just funny thing. I was in Tunisia, southern part. It's a desert. It's Sahara. I was in a village, one of the last one, and there was a guy, with Adidas baskets, etc., and said, "No, I have to change because I have to make the Berber supper for tourists, and then I will put traditional clothes." So they make all this, and then what is funny, you have a lot of charters flight, between my city and Tunisia, and sometimes it happens. I go with some people, and I come back with the same people. When I hear their story, I just say, my God, it's just see the picture of the real blah 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 blah. It's totally fake, So what I want to say, avoid this kind of crap. Look for your own beauty. Look for people you can meet, and it's the most interesting.
Okay, very nice. So you remained the fighter against Putin's or Kremlin's regime towards Ukraine, and you led the international movement against the delivery of Mistral invasion ships to the Kremlin, Russia. And due to your struggle and efforts, maybe the president was Nicolas Sarkozy, yes? And he didn't, or the government of France didn't sell the Mistrals to Russia. So how did you manage to do that? And did you feel any pressure from the French government?
Mistrals were Mistral vessels, which are, as you say, invasion vessels, which is true, were sold by Nicolas Sarkozy in 2011. I remember at the time I thought, look, something will happen in Crimea, because these are the perfect tools for a Crimean invasion. And these guys, I want to do something with them. And I forgot. And in March 2014, I read something about these vessels, and I said, no, we can't. We have to do something. It's not possible. It's not possible. We can't deliver this. But at this time, it was François Hollande, the president. François Hollande, you remember?
Yes.
So what I want to say, they were sold because the contract was signed. It was already big part paid, but it was not delivered. So we fought against the delivery of these boats. And I tried to contact, NGOs opposing armed trades, or NGOs working for peace, etc. And I had no reaction. And I thought we have to do something. I didn't know what to do, but I said, look, I live not far from the shipyard where they are built. I will go there, make photos, post them on Flickr, Creative Commons, so people will use my photos. And then people will see what are these boats. They are not what, as it was said, car ferries, or I don't know, or barges, commercial barges. These are invasion vessels. Then we made a small but it was still not starting. So I started in March, and with no success at all, or even people telling me, you are so stupid, it will never work, you're crazy. And at this time, I didn't want we succeed. I just wanted to do my duty. And I thought my duty was to ring the bell, to say, this is very dangerous. We should not do that. And we made a small flash mob on Saint-Nazaire. We were 8 people, including a kid. But these pictures, they became viral, That was what people in the world were expecting. Someone is opposing this selling. And I understood that we are not enough to make big demonstrations. So we had to make something very visual, always in front of this big ship, etc. And another guy joined me, is Dimitri Albi. Dimitri made a huge work, more than me. He was in Ireland. That's maybe why you have not seen so much in front of Mistral vessels. But he made a big work. I was so glad we worked together.
Is he Ukrainian or French?
He's French. I know his name is Dimitri, but he's French. But his wife is an Ukrainian lady. And he was on Maidan like me, you understand? So not with me, but we understand what we were talking about. And we said we need people and we need events everywhere in the world to put pressure on French government. And that's where Ukraine helped us. Was Ukrainian diaspora made peaceful and very nice demonstration from, I think, from Georgia, in Georgia, till the western coast of the US. So and maybe also in Australia. So we had demonstration in French consulate, in French embassy, and some politicians of these different countries started to wake up and say, we have to oppose it. And because these demonstrations, they made images, then it came on media. That's the way it worked. But actually, I was not the leader because everybody was working. It was very decentralized, Everybody was working in his country, but we were coordinating. You understand? It's not like an army, with a general. It was something very different, cells working together. But I would say that the big work was done by the Ukrainian diaspora, and I was very impressed. I just understood recently that Roman Sushenko from Ukrinform translated a lot of articles we made, and it gave very relevant information. I will jump quickly to your question about did we face the French government pressure. Actually, that was a problem, no pressure, because French government, the constructor, DCNS, STX shipyard in Saint-Nazaire, and the contractor, DCNS, there was total blackout. That means there were no information given. There was no information given from French side, but we had a litigation with Kremlin about the delivery. All the information, I'm not kidding, all the information we could find was produced by the opposite part of the litigation, was produced by Kremlin or Kremlin proxies. That was really a problem. It was, the media sphere was totally empty about French position. And it was full of Kremlin position because, and at this time, I was probably one of the first to identify the laundering. You understand? You have a wax sent by Kremlin or Sputnik, etc., but it's said again, it's shared. And then it comes to what I say, the background noise. And everybody consider, because it's in the background noise, it's a reality. But it's an alternative reality. So the biggest part of the job, which was not so visual, was what we did in collecting information and debunking this propaganda. I did my part. Dimitri did the biggest part. And it was very important because finally, I'm not kidding, finally, what happened is that journalists from different countries thought, okay, these are the only people who tell the truth. Even TASS, or Interfax, they were quoting us because all the rest was total bullshit. So to say that, to summarize, we had no pressure from French side, and I think it was a problem because it could have been very good. We had a discussion with all the people involved in this process and say, look, what do you answer this and this and this? I still have a lot of questions with no answer, but there was one very, very, very fishy trick, disgusting trick. When we decided to make our demonstration on September 7th in front of Smolny, was about where the 500 Russian sailors stayed, wanted to have our demonstration in front of Mistral vessel, was the third or fourth demonstration, and go in front of Smolny vessel, where were the Russian sailor instructed to sail the Mistrals. I had to talk with the sous-préfet, I don't know, kind of sub-governor. Actually, it's the guy who represents the Ministry of Interior, you understand? So he's a chief of police, if you want. And he told me, oh, Mr. Grua, I really enjoyed your demonstrations. The other demonstration was so peaceful, so beautiful, etc. I said, thank you. And this time, to avoid problems, you will not go in front of Smolny. And I said, what? Yes, because National Front, the far right, the Marine Le Pen and all this fascist party, they will demonstrate in front of the Smolny. I said, what you are telling me? We made our demand for demonstration before us. They make their demonstration against us. And you give them this place, it's not correct. When you have two different groups like that, usually you say, you do your demonstration this day, and you are the second, you will do your demonstration another day. That's the way you should do. That's the way it's done. If you authorize the National Front to make this demonstration, the pro-Putinist, it's to prevent us to make a demonstration in front of the Russian sailors. This is disgusting. You are backing your position. You, socialist, you are using French far right. This is not acceptable. You are the boss, I understand. I can't do anything else. So I will don't make my demonstration in front of Smolny, but I will go as a free citizen. And I talk with the media, they will come with me, and I will explain why we did not do our demonstration here. And then the guy told me, let me think. So I think he talked with Paris, etc. And that's the way we got the point. People can be very polite, very nice, but they have their agenda. And I was really, really disgusted by that. But that's the only problem.
But it was a good act to go like a peaceful citizen, like a group to support them, and then to say your opinion, like what do you think about it? And I think that he was afraid of the consequences. That's why he changed his mind.
Let me tell you, if I explain to French TV that the socialist government is dealing with French far right to please Putin, it can really make problems. So that's why they had to back. That's the only reason. How I trapped this guy is that I made a letter, but it was an open letter. So it put, pressure on him. And he told me, "Wow, you wrote this letter to make pressure on me." I said, "Yes, of course. That's the way." the way it works. So that's the only point. Now I still have many questions about this deal, and I don't have the answers, but there are a lot of questions.
Yes,
By the way,
yet maybe.
Sorry,
but you don't have the answers yet, but I'm sure you will receive those answers, like in the future.
Maybe I will translate in English this list of questions because it's anyway. I don't say if our action was the one which stopped the delivery. I don't say that. I don't even know what was our real media impact, but we did our duty, and that was what was important. And it was not delivered, which is great. They were not delivered.
By the way, I watched you on TV. I just turned on the TV and I saw you giving an interview to the correspondent. I was, whoa, how come? And then I got interested in this.
Because there was nobody to take care of the problem. That's it. You know, if I found good people to do this job, I would be very happy. But there was nobody. So you have to talk. That's it.
Yeah. And you were broadcasted on Ukrainian channels.
Oh, yeah. And after we met with Dmitry and I with President Poroshenko in Paris. But
yes.
Yeah, well, I think we did that that was our goal, you know, give a message and make people react. So it was broadcasted with Ukrainian TV. It's logical because Ukrainian TV wanted opponents to the delivery, and we were what, 50, 100? C'est la vie. And I was the guy who lives there, and I know this boat because I've been in the Navy. So yeah, it's normal.
So why did you decide to help Ukraine so much?
Oh, maybe you will be disappointed. I did not decide to help Ukraine, and I never helped Ukraine. I just decided I just decided to tell what I see, what people do. So I was on Maidan, and I tried to pass the message. These people who are demonstrating, they are the same people than you. If you are cut off all your rights, if there is a lot of corruption, if you are under the domination of your neighbor, you will make demonstrations. They are the same people than us. That's why I made a lot of portraits of people on Maidan. And it's just because it's not acceptable, the level of propaganda we had against Maidan. And on the other, and regarding Mistral, it's just because I don't like when we sell weapons, and I don't like when they are used to kill people. I understand each country has to protect itself, but I don't support aggression weapons. And these boats, they were invasion vessels. We had to oppose. So I did not support Ukraine. On the opposite, Ukraine supported us in this fight. And Ukrainian diaspora everywhere in the world helped France to keep, you know, our honor. So that's don't get fooled. That was Ukraine which helped us, French people, to stay clean. And there is also something I would like to add. I love Russia. I have very good Russian people. But when there is an aggressor and a victim, I'm always on the side of the victim. I don't say Russia is an aggressor, but Kremlin is. And these mafia bandits are aggressors. And they are really against human rights. They are against their own population, and they are a danger for us. So Ukraine is the front, the European front against this cholera, you know. So that's why we also have to help Ukraine to defend Europe, because this Kremlin mafia will destroy Europe and destroy our country if they want. They already almost destroyed Russia. It's not my job to do something. They manage Russian.
You're right, because mistakenly, a lot of people think that Russians are bad because of this war, and they generalize too much. Actually, the government is too bad, not Russians themselves.
No, I will not even talk about their government with my Russian friends. That's their government. But me, as a French guy, I know this government is a threat for us. And I will do what I can do to protect us from this.
Yes.
Then if Russian people like their government or don't like, it's not my problem. I don't interfere. I just consider my country, and I know that if we want to stop Putinists, it's better to stop them in Ukraine than stop them in Germany or in France. That's it.
Yeah. It's good that you are conscious about that. So you are also an independent writer. So what do you usually write about?
I write about culture, about history, about heritage, the places where I've been usually, or also the life of the people I shared with them, or they tell me. And I also write about geopolitics. I told you that I was translated by Ukrainian, for example, but I published a couple of papers also directly with Ukrainian, Ukraine Crisis Media Center, Inform Napalm, and also articles about Siberia in Russia Beyond, which is a subsidiary of RT, very, very bad media, RT. We don't like it. But I published 3 papers for Russia Beyond, and
in French, yes.
In French, yes. Unfortunately, yes, in French.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, 1 minute. Oui. Ok. 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 Entendu. Okay. Merci Rita. Ok. Stopping. Okay, Mark, we are done. Sorry.
No problem. So, what is your opinion? We have a pandemic now, and what is your opinion of the coronavirus and all these lockdowns? If you like to write about global politics and all this stuff, what is your opinion about? Is it like a real pandemic, or is it all about conspiracy, and what is the situation in France with that?
Well, I think maybe at least in France, maybe in other countries like Ukraine, people just look at their country and they have crazy opinions, etc. So I will not enter this game. I try to understand what is going on in other countries. It's a world problem, and a very, 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 it's very bad situation for me, but it's like the same for many people. I will not add my statements in the middle of thousands of junk or good statements. I don't know. It's it's a big problem. We have to fight together against this problem and stay reasonable.
It's against this virus, you mean? Or the problem of lockdown? Because there are 2 problems, like the closing of different businesses, yes, and people are losing their jobs, yes, and there is the second problem, that's the problem of the coronavirus. So, which of these problems do you mean?
We all have the same problem and the same consequences, Mark. I think it's the same problem in Ukraine, same problem in France, same in the same country. You want to slow down the pandemic, you freeze the business, then the people, they have nothing to eat, they have nothing for their family, for their kids. So it's, sorry, we're all in the same shit. And your problems are the same than the problems of other countries and then in our country.
Yeah, yeah. And how will the world look like after this pandemic in the future when everything goes online? So do you think that it will fully go online and it will be never back to offline regime?
Well, that's a very interesting question. As always, when you talk about the future is different from what you told before, but let's try. I think that this connected world is very convenient. We can talk together and people from different country can see us or share what we like. It helps to travel, to organize travels, get local contacts, then keep contact with people, sharing somewhere their life. So it's very positive, but we have to pay attention to two issues. The first one is that the world is copying itself everywhere. It's globalization, if you want. Comes not only from the business, but on what is trendy. So I would recommend everybody to pay attention to what is their heritage. I mean, not only the buildings, but also the way of life, etc. Document it, take pictures, write, record. Because one morning you will wake up and all what you love disappeared. It happened to me. I'm a sailor. There were so nice boats at a certain period. They disappeared. When I was a kid, I was playing in the countryside. You said I'm French. It's wrong. I'm Briton. People around me, they talk Briton. I never learned Briton. But now there is nobody. There is no animals in the countryside. There are no horses. There is almost nobody talking Briton. All of this disappeared. So what I said, you live with it. And one morning you wake up, it disappeared. So
you mean the dialect? Yes, the dialect.
No, it's a language, but okay, we'll not.
Language.
I will never say Ukrainian is a dialect. So
yeah. I want to know Bretagne. It's like not British, but Bretagne. Yes, Bretagne.
Okay, our name is Bretagne. In English, we say Brittany, and people living there are Briton. We say Britain, and the language is Briton. It's Celtic origin. It's a completely different origin from the French language, which is Latin. And it's a country which was stable in its borders during almost 1,000 years. So by many aspects, I know it's difficult to hear in Ukraine, but by many aspects, the Brittany issues helped me to understand what was going on in Ukraine. I close it. So why we came to this is to say I not only talk about the language, but everything around us it changes very fast. Important things are disappearing. So I would say use this media to collect, to evidence. Forget making this trendy shit on Instagram to make a picture of you where thousands of people took pictures, but look the way people live. Try to understand what is important, record it, write it, share it. That's the first point. What we could do thanks to this global world, actually, with this media. And the second point, maybe it's a bit strange, but I would say protect yourself. Don't let other people build your reputation on the web. Occupy your numerical space. Control what Google search can give under your name. I'm maybe not very clear, but I faced very hard hard trolls when I was fighting Mistral, and I could not open Google. So much shit was dropped on me. Then I went to Pakistan and I wrote very nice things about a small group of people. But those who hate them, Sunni fundamentalists, didn't like it at all. So I have ton of trash against me. But I made my name on internet a numerical fortress. I drive all the answers for the 3 pages of Google. Maybe it does not seem relevant, but if you want to take public positions, if you want to communicate about political, social, geopolitical issues, be strong. Don't go with an empty, numerical space, because it can defamation, assaults can become viral, and be careful. Don't share hate speech. Hate speech, it's very easy to share hate speech or conspiracies, because you call the emotion, you take off the rationalization. Don't share this, because at the end, people are harmed or killed. So be responsible. It's a fantastic tool, but if we are not responsible, we will destroy our society.
Yeah, so to protect ourselves, to go in for some cybersecurity, correct?
It's not only cybersecurity, it's just produce content, understand how it works, and make sure everything relating to you is under your control. It works.
So we have to be, in this case, be hardworking. You have to work hard.
That's also explained. Sorry, Markian, but that's also explained why I have this website, why I publish, why I don't keep my photos for myself. And maybe we will make another talk about this issue, because it's very important. And thanks to the numerous Putinists or some fundamentalists, I learned a lot. Believe me, this is very interesting, but it cannot be explained in 5 minutes.
Yes. So I understand that something that kills us makes us stronger, like Nietzsche said. Yes?
Yeah, if it does not kill us, it makes us stronger if we decide to be. But if we just wait, nothing will happen, or just the worst will come.
And the last question to you, Bernard. Please give 3 pieces of advice to people what they should do to achieve success so much as you did.
Well, the first answer I will say, don't believe Mark, because I did not achieve so much. So I think everybody has interesting aspects in his life. For some reason, I've been on Ukrainian TV, so Mark consider it's important. But for the people around me, they are absolutely not interested by the fact I've been on Ukrainian TV. I'm just a guy like another guy, what I am. So don't believe Mark. I did not achieve anything. But I would recommend something is read, learn about people, write, and make photos. That's what I could remember. And third is be careful with social media. They are very powerful, but don't be part of this junk. Act responsibly. Don't share everything. When your emotion is teased, just wait, check, wait a bit. Don't put fuel in the fire, and act responsibly.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bernard, for such an extremely exciting and useful and fruitful interview. So also thanks for fighting for human rights in the world. Yeah, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Markian. It was a pleasure.
And you guys, if you like this interview, please give a like to it, share it with friends, subscribe to this channel not to miss our next interviews with interesting people. and write your comments about some countries you visited and how many languages you know. I gave the links to Bernard's profile, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and his site in the link description below on YouTube. And take care and bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.